paramedics until I get through around the area. They damn near shot one of us our men down there.
Whoa, that was a little shrapnel.
Yeah.
Right there. Almost got me.
You see other people get blown up, you kill people, you see people get shot, no problem. But when it's somebody that's immediately close to you and they've been inflicted by something totally different than a gunshot wound, to see a mangled person that you knew, that you can't really describe or see it like in the form that they were anymore, that's a little bit different.
I think they're shooting.
Let me get that, hold on, because that's kind of bothering me. My bad, man.
Seriously, you don't get a fuck. See, I got these goddamn blast boxes on.
Up, hey, up, hey, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Count to kill, let it kill.
After hearing the explosion, I can remember saying in my head, like, wow, that somebody just got fucked up. That was back to back. Like, it doesn't normally happen back to back, especially like that, unless it's secondary. But what had happened was a corpsman that we had attached to us, he ended up walking through a doorway, and in the doorway they had a piece of carpet laying over the threshold, and there was an IED placed under the carpet. And he ended up stepping on the IED, getting blown up, and my buddy Steve was probably about 10 to 20 meters away from him, and he ended up getting knocked over into the opening of a Carez, which is an underground waterway. Stephen Sutton, he died on May 26, 2012. That was in Zamindawar province in Helmand, Afghanistan. Alongside him was HMFM, Eric Warren, Navy corpsman. He also died that day. I'd have to say that's the most traumatic experience, to see, to watch everyone collect your friend and then place him on the front of a tank, cover him up with a flag, and move him to a spot where they can CASEVAC his body. You can't even call it a CASEVAC because you're not even a casualty anymore. When I first got back, if I was walking in a crowded place and anybody was too close to me, shoulder bump, distance, or anything, I would automatically be on edge. And everything to me would always end up in my mind of, okay, if he bumps into me, then I'm gonna obviously have to say something to him. If he says something back in the wrong manner, then I'm gonna keep going with it. And that was always my mind state, was, hey, whatever situation came, I was just gonna escalate it. You go down to the VA, man, what I hate is that it was like they were just like, oh, talk to this person. So I talk to that person. Oh, talk to this person. So you talk to that person. And then I end up in the office and the guy's like, hey, I can give you some medication. I'm like, look, dude, I don't need pills. Don't just prescribe me some drug and be like, hey, yeah, take some drugs and go be happy. Since my first deployment, and even when I returned home, I could kind of notice that everyone treated me a little different. And I also noticed that my behavior, just by being in the Marine Corps, period, was a little bit repulsive to people sometimes.
Hobbling around with no fucking lift.
Especially language, being in the Marine Corps, the F word, F-bomb is like tradition. If you don't have a word to say and you need to go or fuck is the word that you put in the middle of that. More than anything, I don't struggle with nightmares. If anything, I have a problem falling asleep. So a lot of nights I have restless nights and I'll be on Red Bull or doing some music or doing something else because I'll try to fall asleep, but I'll get so restless and start recapping things in my head that I'll just omit sleep sometimes. Slowly but surely, I see myself getting better. You know, it's not a sprint. I think one of the best things I heard from my therapist, Dr. Bryan, was that, you know, I spent pretty much a year and a half with the combination of both deployments, being in a heightened sense of urgency and alertness and being around these different events that happen that wouldn't normally happen. So for a year and a half, I trained myself to be on edge, to be extra sensitive to everything, to react to everything instantly. So in return, it would at least take me a year and a half to untrain myself to do that. I can't get past it right now. It's been about a year since I've been out. It's been longer than a year since this has been happening. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. I guess I can say that was one of the best sayings that me and my buddy Steve had, and my buddy Preston, is that, hey, you know, it is what it is for everything. And then, you know, it's happening, and I'm doing my best to try to get it under control. But anything beyond that, you know, I have to roll with the punches and accept it and keep moving. But I can't, you know, be sad or dwell on it too long, because, you know, it's just, in the end, ultimately, it's just digging me deeper into my hole. I went on my own reasons, you know, also doing a service for the country, but I went for my own reasons, you know. I don't deserve any pity. I wasn't drafted into the Marine Corps, you know. I volunteered. Part of me's torn, man. I guess part of me will forever be torn.